3.10 inequalities. I can solve and graph inequalities.
Can you guys solve and graph inequalities now?
Yes.
All right. Inequality would be comparing two amounts or two quantities. You guys are familiar with these symbols? If, again, this is a struggle for you, you've got to fix that struggle because you're going to be dealing with inequalities for the rest of the year and the rest of your mathematical life, which is the rest of your life. Algebraic inequalities are basically just like algebraic equations. They're number sentences, but this time they're comparing two quantities and not setting them equal to one another. Solution set would be all of the answers of an inequality. Number two, I'm just going to reference the fact that we are writing inequalities based on words. You always are going to have what? What are the keywords? Keywords are going to help you understand what sort of inequality to write. No more means it's going to be not any bigger than a number or less, and so on and so forth. So just use your common sense, your English language skills. Number three, solution sets and graphs. This is just talking about when we're solving inequalities, there's oftentimes, or there is always a lot of different answers, which is the solution set. So 6 and 7, we actually described in words the solution set for each of those. 8 and 9 actually shows how to graph solution sets. So quick quiz for you here, oral quiz. If we graph x is bigger than 3, why did we put an open circle? Who can tell me why we put an open circle there? Alice's friend Claire. Why open circle?
Because when it's open, that means it's just less than or greater than.
Okay, so the open circle means we're not including that number, right? But we are including everything that is, in this situation, everybody? Above or bigger than 3, right? Because the inequality is x is greater than 3 or x is bigger than 3, right, Rodrigo?
Yes.
On this one, Rodrigo, it's a closed circle. Why?
Because that means the number is now counted for.
It's now counted for, so it's either equal to or, in this situation, equal to or less than. So x is less than or equal to 19. So because the closed circle means it includes that number 19. And then number 4, we solved inequalities before we graph them. Is solving an algebraic inequality any different than solving an algebraic equation? No, no different at all. We had to get the variable alone. We use properties of equality. We boxed our final answers. We even plugged back in. The difference is we always have to graph our inequalities when we write them or when we solve them. Okay, and you now know what this graph means compared to your final answer. Yes, no? Number 11 is an example of a multi-step inequality. Want me to grade this one for you as I would be grading it on your test?
Yeah.
So 1 point for your property of equality, 2 point for your cleanup, a 3rd point for another property of equality, 4th point for your answer, 5th point for drawing an accurate graph, and 6th point for graphing correctly. 6-point question for your final test. Last thing I would point out to you is number 13. Writing these word problems can prove to be difficult often for children or for adults as well. The equality or the inequality that you wrote was pretty simple and you guys did a good job solving, but actually getting this from the word problem is the hard part. I always recommend that you do what? Assign a variable to your word problem, or to your inequality in this case.